Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the premium Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, HG Gym Night Seeker 2. Now, 4 years ago I actually did review the premium Bandai exclusive HG Gym Night Seeker 1. Yes, so it has been at least 4 years since the first version actually came out, and now we are up to Gym Night Seeker 2. Still surprised that it's been 4 years since that review, but once again, I was really happy that that kit actually released as well, because it was also one of those specific type of gym variants that I really wanted to have as a kit. But now we have that, and now we're up to Gym Night Seeker 2, which I'm also excited because not only I'm happy that this kit is now exists, but I think they are now building up for another gym type variant as well. So for those who know the Gym Night Seeker 1 and 2, what they're based on, I think you'll understand. I think you'll know what I mean. But once again, I'll go into the review and explain what they're planning up based on what what we have here. Now, once again, as much as I would love to bring out my Gym Night Seeker 1, I have no idea where it is because I'm pretty sure, because if it's 4 years ago, I'm assuming that it's still actually at my parents' house. Because once again, for those who don't know, I moved out from my parents' house, lived in another place on my own for another 2 years, or 2 to 3 years, and then I moved again because of my job change. So once again, I eventually need to get all my stuff back from my parents' house to my house to basically regain all my stuff, which might happen actually pretty soon. Anyway, so for now, it's just going to be this guy's review, but once again, I can definitely pretty much tell like the small differences. So if you're not too crazy about the Gym Night Seeker, like which specific one or two, I don't think you're missing out on too much. But for now, let's see what we got. So first of all, let's go over components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the mobile suit itself. Definitely loving the design. One of the most iconic things about the Gym Night Seeker is obviously the mask and that's funky looking backpack, and the fact that this thing has thrusters on its chest. Not exactly the first time we're seeing such a mobile suit, but once again, it's one of those, but it's not a common case. Let's just put it that way. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about what you're supposed to get. So here on the left side, based on me, not on the mobile suit, on the left side, here are the stuff that you should be getting as well. So first, number one, you actually get a second variation of a head. Now, for those who don't like the overall masked version of the head, you can always go with the more traditional style of the gym style head. But of course, this comes with an extra huge antenna on the side. Now, if you're going with this, they actually do give you a sticker, a yellow-white sticker here, where you have to wrap around this part, which is never pretty. On here, so I do suggest you color this yourself if possible. And once again, yes, a very clean looking gym head other than the antenna as well. And keep in mind, just for your reference, this gym head does not have any Vulcans. So yeah, but for now, I am a big fan of the masked one, hence going with that. Once again, you only get one beam saber hilt. I believe that's the case in the kit itself, but no, actually no. You only get one specific type of a beam saber hilt. And there's only one spot on the backpack, so you're pretty much going to only be using one beam saber effect part, but you do get two as well. And then here are the rest of the stuff. Now, surprisingly, they actually give you 3 guns. Of course, hand-wise, you only get a set of multi-purpose hands, a set of open-style hands, which is always welcome as well. And then you get a set. Yes, you heard me. A set of trigger finger hands, meaning that you get one for left, one for right. So I already slapped these on. Just to save time, once again, because these 2 weapons are the more unique ones for this kit. Well, technically you can get this one pretty easily. This is the more basic one that we see in every Origins kit. Now this is the beam gun, but basically a modified version of the beam spray gun that we all know, the traditional OG gym rifle or gym beam spray gun. So no big deal here, but still has that peg, but there's no place to actually store this. So just want to point that out. And yes, you can either use the beam spray gun on either hand as well, because they're all trigger fingers and then they all have the same structure. So the reason why I was really happy when the first Gym Night Seeker 1 came out was obviously the kit itself, but once again they added this gun into that kit, because this specific beam gun was only used by 2 specific units, or 2 to 3 depending on how you look at it. It's the Gym Night Seeker units and the Gym Light Armor type, and we actually have almost enough parts. Well, not exactly 100%, but I feel like they're already building up for a Gym Light Armor type in the Origins line. So yeah, I'm kind of really happy to see that. So yeah, this is that gun as well, so no big deal here. Pretty simple structure. And once again, no stickers here. Same goes for here, no stickers on here. This is the same machine that we see in a lot of Origins kits, so no big deal here. Alright, so we've seen the basics of that. Now let's look at the parts. Let me actually get this guy out of the stand because I'm starting getting dizzy. Alright, so now here are the sticker sheets. So once again, we get the sticker sheet. Once again, here is the one for the antenna. Here are, because you get two heads, you get the front and back head stickers, camera stickers. You get two sets of each, so that hence these. And then here we have another blue sticker here, which goes onto the antenna of the masked head version. So there's like a small blue on the, if you look at the antenna, there is a blue section there. That is the sticker that you have to use that. So sticker wise, there's not much. And because being an Origins kit, they also added the sticker decals, a lot of symbols and linings and stuff. Once again, you can go crazy with these as well. Alright, so when it comes to leftover parts, there's a good amount of leftover parts, but here are the ones that I cut off from the plates. So once again, we get a normal, I think that it's been a long time since I reviewed a typical basic Origins kit, but I believe this is the basic structure of the shoulder, or at least this is at least an alternative version of the chest piece as well, because yeah, so I'm not sure exactly why, but basically this one is missing a few sections in this one compared to the one that I'm currently using here. So yeah, I might need to actually check if I can find my Gym Nightseeker 1 instruction manual. I might be able to figure out what this is. But yeah, this one was kind of interesting for me. And here are some basic parts I cut off. Here are the inner frame parts for the legs, and then here is a leftover. Oops. Sorry about that. Here is a leftover front head piece, which once again, it's the same type of gym head, but this one actually has Vulcans on it, so I just wanted to point that out. And then here are some other joint parts as well for, I think these are supposed to be belongs to the arm areas. Alright, and now here are the parts that I did not cut off as well. Oh yeah, and here is that other gym, the second leftover gym front part of the head. So the one was the Vulcans. And then here we have some side piece from these sections. Here is a basic beam saber part, which I was talking about, and then the chest vent pieces, and then some other armor parts as well. So we get that. Here we have another plate. Here we have the shoulder parts. This is the typical regular shoulder armor parts that we usually see in the gym type kits for Origins. And then here we have these parts as well, which I assume either goes onto the feet or the arms. We get some leftover polycaps, nothing too special there. We've always seen those as well. And here we have another F2 plates, a duplicate. So let's look at one. So we have these thrusters, which is usually the ones that are used either on backpacks or based on this piece. This is one that goes onto the back of the legs here as well. And then here we have a gray part of the side skirts. And then we have this small thruster piece. If I remember correctly, these are usually the ones, or vent pieces, that are usually on the side of the shoulders. So that's that. And then here we have another repeat of the shoulder part. No big deal there. Here we have this white part, which has the front skirts and the crotch piece as well. Alternative designs. And then here we have a part for a inner frame for the front skirt part. Or back. Yeah, I think this is the back skirt. Yeah, back skirt parts. And then here we have another repeat size, arms, knees, beam saber hilt, chest pieces, the typical stuff. Alright, so we've seen the basic leftover parts. Now let's look at the kit itself. Alright, let's see what we got starting from the head. Now once again, I did explain this 4 years ago, but here we go again. So for this type of head, if you're going with the mask head, the structure is kind of interesting. It's not what you think. It's not like you slap on a, how should I say, you don't slap a visor piece, the typical gym visor piece, and then put a face mask on top of it. They actually give you a specific shape of a clear piece, and then you put the mask piece on, hence which to the point where the clear blue plastic that you use actually comes almost outwards, or that you can at least see. So it's not a flat visor on the inside. Just wanted to point that out. And definitely loving that, you know, special ops look going on here. Also, depending if you squint your eyes a little bit, kind of reminds me of those Star Wars Commandos guys. Now, in a way. No disrespect to that fan base as well. Alright, so, and then the head, once again being an Origins kit, you know, it's still got the basic stuff, so the head can go down that much, up, not a little bit wise depending on how you do it. And then 360 twist, it's a little bit stiff, And then because of these shoulder parts, they're not really rotating that easily. I tried to rotate, force it. I can force go up, but at that point it just pops the head off. So yeah, going side to side is possible. 360, not so much. I mean, if you can kind of force twist it, but you're pretty much gonna popping up the head and then rotating it. So no big deal. All right, now looking at the body here, nothing too special other than the obvious front chest piece that are using the polycap ball joints, and then the thrusters are just plastic pieces, so they can go up and down and then kind of rotate around as well. So do use them as you please. And I'm actually at this point I'm kind of curious if they're planning, if they ever have plans for a premium Bandai, I assume, if they ever do it in the robot Damashi format for anime of this guy. That would be interesting. Alright, so that's that. And now the body, because of it's the Origins lineup kit, it has that funky, body, ab crunch gimmick going on here. So it can go pretty well, but once again, if you go overboard, I believe these are the ones that can pop out easily, so do be careful on that. Of course, the downside for the Origins guy, always remember, now it doesn't really show too well on camera, but usually if you're looking at the kit naked eye, if you don't push all the way through, or if you don't make it look properly, you always get this small gap here. So just wanted to point that out. And then 360 twist is surprisingly possible. Yeah, so there's nothing blocking the way. And then now let's look at the backpack before we go to any other places. Now the backpack, once again, it's a very unique design aspect regarding this specific mobile suit as well. So we have these longer thruster parts. So the way how these works, you get two of them. This first section actually can move upwards, and you can straighten it out if you want to, or go a little bit more if you want to do so. And then rotation is also possible. And then going downwards, so you can move about 90 degrees almost downwards. And then going to the side is also possible. So going to the sidewards like that is possible, and the rotation is also possible as well. So there is these parts there is a pretty much a free range of movements than you think, despite how they look. And then we have these two thrusters, and then another two thrusters on here. I believe those are thrusters as well. And then for the beam saber hilt, this is actually a unique one. So you can see there's this small design, like this hand grip looking design. Yeah, once again, I believe the Gym light armor types usually has this design on their beam sabers, and then their hilt length is slightly longer than the basic ones than we usually typically see. But once again, this one, I believe the Origins line in general are more shorter than the HGC lines, but once again, yeah, so this does definitely look longer than the ones that you see in the leftover parts. Once again, so another hint/evidence for a Gym light armor type being possible. And here's another evidence here, the shoulder armors, or shoulders, or arms. So the Gym Night Seeker 2 is actually, well, the Gym Night Seeker 1 was based on a regular gym. So when the gym production has started, they made, the first run made 12 Gym Night Seekers, and then later in total there was like 88 of these Gym Night Seeker 1s. But they also, the upper head of the government or whatever, the forces, wanted to also increase, while this one was, Gym Night Seeker 1 was already a agile mobile suit, they wanted to utilize more speed on it. Hence, when they started making the Gym Light Armor type, they made Gym Night Seekers based on the Gym Light Armor, because the Gym Light Armor's, the whole point of that guy was, it's the gym, but you reduce as much as weight as possible to make it go fast. And then based on that unit, they made this, the Gym Night Seeker 2. So the shoulder, you can definitely tell, like, these shoulder parts or the arms look very naked here, and that's why, because these are basically shoulder armorless arms for the gyms, so hence a very simple design. Hence, an HG Gym Light Armor type seems very plausible at this point. So because there's no armor, it definitely may look a little bit naked, is a little bit wonky, a little bit too, how should I say, skinny based on how the models look like, but that's just the way how it is. If you don't like that, then obviously you want to get the Gym Night Seeker 1. So going to the side is 90 degrees is possible, because it's on a ball joint. Obviously we have free range movement, butterfly joint, whatever is in there, and then because of the ball joint, you already have a good wide range of movement. 360 twist is possible. Twist on the arm itself is possible. Oops, something just popped out. Yeah, actually this is a good opportunity to explain the front skirt armor later, so I'll just leave it like that. And then arm twist, like I said, is possible. And bend wise, oops, there we go. You get a nice double jointed bend. We have a hole for a shield, but no shield is added in this kit. And we get a typical ball jointed hands. Now, if there is one small aspect I'm not too fond of this kit, is the, how should I say, the connection on the hands are not the best. They kind of they don't feel, I mean, it's not like it's loose to the point where it's popping out on its own. It's just that it doesn't feel tight enough for me. It could be just my kit, but it just feels like it's not the best connection that I've seen so far. Alright, so other than that, now let's get the front skirt. Now the front skirt, as you can see, has a really interesting structure where you have to push these ball rings outwards and then you slap these on. So the way how this works is that you have a inner frame part for the front skirts, and then you slap on these parts individually on the outer side. So there's no exact way to split it unless you split the inner frame in the middle. Then you'll have a little bit of free range of movement of the front skirts individually. But once again, because of how these parts are designed, I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. So just wanted to point out, back skirt does not move out. Side skirts, while they do exist, and they don't really move that much. You gotta kind of like force them to move out just a little bit. Once again, a little bit of a downside of the HG of a model kit aspect. Like, unless you saw my last Robot Damashi Gym 2 for anime review, you might know what they did with that, which was amazing. So with the front skirts, it does move a little bit to the forward, but not as much as you want to do so. So with this, it does limit the leg range just a bit. So going forward is not much of an option. You do have the overall, the hinge system where you can, relocate the leg position. But once again, because of the front skirt structure, it's not as much freedom as you think. But you still get a nice side swivel. Going to the side, not so much because of the side skirt as well. So if you want to do anything, you might want to pop those out if you want to do so. Going backwards, not so much because of the back skirt does not move at all. But overall, the legs are your still standard gym style legs, which has a very nice bend going on here. And then if it weren't for the side skirt, going to the side everything is possible. So just want to point out, these are the typical Gundam Origins gym type legs. Now, once again, another trace for the gym light armor is that I believe they don't have the ankle armors here. So while I mean, kit structure-wise, there is the part structure, but these aren't really ankle armors as far as I understood it. So yeah, definitely we're seeing a lot of hints for that. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. I think from now here, we will do a quick demonstration on the weapons and we'll end it off there. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the first demonstration going on here. So basically just a lot of the Gym Night Seeker articles mentioned that they usually drop in or dive in. Hence I always imagine them like diving in and then full blasting them. Of course, they're also meant to be on stealth missions, so they want to go with a bang right away. But sometimes I always like one of the few poses I like is when when mobile suits are dropping in, they're firing downwards as well. So just wanted to point that out. I think this will definitely benefit if it has like thruster effect parts, so hint hint, hopefully a Robot Damashi version in the future. So once again, we have the beam gun and then the machine gun. So once again, because of these are on special trigger finger hands, you should have no problems holding them. There's no way that these can become loose. Of course, the only loose part I can imagine is the joint here, because not the best, strongest joint out there, but still works. And then once again, we have an action-based connecting point here, so no big deal there. So yeah. There should be no problem as well. Alright, so I think there's only one set of equipment to show off, so I'll be right back and we'll end it off there. Okay, here is the final demonstration here. We have the beam saber. Once again, it holds pretty well, but once again, it's just the hand. I don't think it's tight enough for the beam saber to be held in place in the middle, so it's always going to be sliding like that. But once again, the beam spray gun, it's your typical structure, so no big deal. You should have no problems holding the beam spray gun. And here is the other alternative head going on here. So for those who are curious on what's with the antenna, is that it's for these Gym Night Seekers units to communicate with each other in case of like specific areas where there's a lot of jamming going on here. So yeah. So it's really up to your preference which head you want to go for. If you really love the Gym Night Seeker for what it is, obviously you'll be going with this head. But if you want to have the more traditional style look, this is the one you're probably going to go with. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, I'm really happy that this kit exists now. However, I'm also really happy and excited that we're seeing hints and traces and possibilities of a HG Gym Light armor type. Now, I'm not sure, I can't guarantee whether it's going to be a regular or premium Bandai kit at this point, but once again, I'm just happy that these type of variants that we barely see in any anime, or something that you have to really play a specific game, or you have to read a certain manga, or just read like the lore stuff to figure out to exist that these type of variants exist. So I'm just happy that they exist, whether it's Premium Bandai or not. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys got any questions or requests, in the comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.